Hello everyone. Okay, so if you've seen my last video, you would have seen one of the best experiences ever, which brought me to this one here. So last video, I went to see a solar eclipse, and this magical moment was amazing, which made me start to think about bucket list experiences. I never thought that I would ever want to see a solar eclipse because it was never near me. Once I got to experience it, I now know this is something I need to do again, but I'm going to have to travel for it. But that's what brings me to the next few videos. It got me thinking, what other things do we not think about when it comes to bucket list experiences? I have a ginormous bucket list, but these are a couple of things that I never even thought of. So I want to share with you in a couple of series, bucket list experiences that maybe you haven't thought of. So we're going to do it by categories. This one here, if you are the type of person who needs a margarita in hand and your toes in the sand, we're going to talk about bucket list beaches that you need to visit. So let's do that now. All right, first up was one place that I was actually planning on going to this year. Unfortunately, the flights went through the sky for prices, and I was like, not happening. So the first one, of course, is Fiji. This is definitely a bucket list place for me. And no, I don't need to be on one of those overwater bungalows, but Fiji has some of the most amazing beaches, white sands. There are, I don't even know, I'm gonna say hundreds of islands down there, and there's no shortage of pristine white beaches. But it's not just that, it's also like your snorkeling, your scuba diving. Fiji has it all, but when it comes to beaches, Fiji hands down is number one. Okay, second up is the Bahamas. Now, the Bahamas, when I worked on the cruise ships, this was obviously one of the top spots that most of the ships would stop at, and for good reason. The beaches of the Bahamas are incredible. And one of my favorite ones is Half Moon Cay, which unfortunately is only accessible by ship. It is owned by Carnival and I believe one other cruise company. So if you are planning to visit this one, you will have to take a cruise. But if you are planning a family vacation, Atlantis is amazing. The beaches here are gorgeous. It can be a little rough, but while your kids are taking a trip on the water slides, you could be putting your toes in the sand. Next up is the Maldives or Maldives in the Indian Ocean. This is definitely another place that one is really popular for honeymoons. It is filled with so many islands. There are over 1,200 islands that are part of the Maldives, with 1.8 million visitors that visited in 2022, 2023. If you are looking for a tropical paradise, this is definitely one you should put on your list. Next up is Turks and Caicos. This was another stop that we did on the ships, and again, for good reason. The beaches here are pristine. 3 miles worth of gorgeous sandy beaches. So find yourself a palm tree, dip those toes in the sand, and take in this gorgeous, gorgeous islands. Next up is Maui, Hawaii. Now, again, this is another spot that I went to while working on the ships. I loved Maui. It wasn't my top island to visit, but when it came to beaches, this is definitely the place you want to go. The reason I loved it is because they didn't have anything against bonfires on the beaches at nighttime. Next up is Bondi Beach, Australia. This is a place that I want to go to, and to be honest with you, as much as this beach is beautiful, I want to go here to people watch. If you have ever seen the Bondi, what is it called? Lifeguard show. I don't even know what the actual name of it is, but the people here alone are probably the most entertainment you are ever going to have. But this beach here is by far one of the top beaches in the world for good reason. The surf here is amazing and the beach is massive. Okay, so next up is the archipelago of Whitsunday. This here is an eco-friendly island just off of Australia. Again, the beaches here are incredible. And of course, you're gonna have access to one of the biggest tourist attractions around the world, and that is the Great Barrier Reef. The next one is probably more famous for the underwater waterfall, which I think is amazing on itself. You have the Mauritius Island. This here is, again, it's stunning for so many different reasons. So if you are planning to visit this island, I would suggest heading over to Flick and Flack or the El Morang Great White Sands. These two places here are your places to go for an amazing sundowner. So the next two I decided to go with, putting them both together, and for the reason they are part of the French Polynesian. So you have Bora Bora and Tahiti. And of course, anytime you think of these places here, you're thinking luxury, expensive, but over the last 5 or 6 years, they have really tried to bring in the backpacking community. Yes, it is still a little bit pricey, but if you're coming here, you are coming here to visit so many of the different islands and island hop through so you can get a sense of all the different beaches that these two places have to offer. And again, we are talking about beaches, but you cannot leave out the fact of the underwater world here is amazing. And it's one of the reasons why I definitely want to go there. It is a must stop. Next up is Thailand. Now, I went to Thailand back in 2019. I did not make it to Phuket. However, Phuket and Riley Beach are two of the top beaches, aside from your islands, in Thailand. Now, I will say from experience, Rayleigh or Riley, however you want to pronounce it, this is a must stop. Put on your bucket list. It is absolutely incredible. There are two beaches that are here. The first one is going to be quite busy with all the longboats because that is the only way to get to Riley. The second one is on the further end of the path, but be warned, if you are planning on going over to the other side, this beach is incredible. It is stunning. It is quite small, so it will get busy, but the biggest danger on this one here is the Portuguese man of war, which is a very toxic jellyfish. So if you are planning to go there, please make sure that you are wearing a wetsuit to protect your skin from these awful stingers. Number 12 is my favorite island of Hawaii, and that is Kauai. This island is filled with everything. Of course, you've got massive hiking, beautiful jungles, stunning waterfalls, but nothing beats the beaches here. So if you are heading to Hawaii, my suggestion is definitely head to Kauai. All right, heading back to the African shores, we are going to talk about the Seychelles. Now, the Seychelles has once again a gonna need some more chapstick. A plethora of islands. We are talking over 115, and once again, this is a top destination for honeymoons. Bovalian Beach on Maui Island is definitely the top place that you want to pick if you are planning on visiting the Seychelles. Number 14, we're gonna head to the Greek god islands of Crete. Now, if you have seen some of the YouTube videos or Instagram where you're seeing these amazing pink beaches, this is where you're going to find that. Probably the best area that you're going to find those pink sands washing up on shore. It is absolutely stunning. This is one of the beaches that are definitely on my bucket list when I visit Greece. So last up on the list is another island that I really wanted to check out this year, but it didn't come true. It didn't happen, is Bermuda. Now, talking about the pink sands, the reason I really wanted to see Bermuda, one was the sandy beaches, but again, because of the snorkeling. However, if you are looking to put your toes in some of the most gorgeous pink sands, I would suggest going over to Horseshoe Beach, Elbow Beach, and the other one is Astwood Cove Beach. These ones here are your more popular ones, but the last two, if you're planning on relaxing, I would definitely suggest coming over to this one. So when it comes to beaches, of course, we're gonna end this video with a couple of tips. Make sure you are wearing a sunscreen, and of course, if you plan on going in the water, please make sure that it is reef safe so that we are not bleaching out nature's beauty of the underwater world. And make sure that you are wearing a hat, bring yourself a beach blanket, and of course, soak up the sun in a safe way. That's gonna end it for this one here, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you're looking to see some more of my future videos, including more bucket list experiences or bucket list places, definitely hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you think anyone's going to benefit from this, don't forget to share. Next week, we are going to be talking about bucket list historical places. So if you are that person who loves history, hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, because that is the next one that'll be coming up. Thanks everyone. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you next time. Bye.